Well, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell getting pushed around pretty big on Capitol Hill today, but it's also clear he did a little pushing this week as well. I want to bring in Bianco Research President Jim Bianco. So Jerome Powell was shocked to find out there was gambling at that establishment known as the Federal Reserve. To his credit, though, he took swift action. You've got these two Fed chairs, Rosengren and Kaplan, they're out. But some are wondering why Powell isn't out because of his muni bond portfolio. Many think maybe that disqualifies him. Where does this go? How important was it for the Fed to take this kind of swift action?
Well, I think it really shows that the Fed had understood the credibility problem that they had. They are the stewards of the financial markets, and anybody that looks like they're taking advantage of that stewardship for personal gain is really going to hurt the whole organization. But on top of that, let's remember now that there's a lot going on at the Fed when it comes to personnel. Not only do we have two Fed presidents' positions now open, Jay Powell's trying to get reappointed. It looks like Rich Clarida, the vice chairman of the Fed, is going to be out at the end of January, and we're going to have a new one there. And there's an open Fed seat. We can have, in 4 months maybe, 5 or 6 new faces in the Federal Reserve Open Market Committee, and that could completely change the whole dynamic of that committee.
On that note, a couple of weeks ago, there was a lot of scuttlebutt out of D.C. Coming in on a Monday, I remember. Powell's going to be renominated today. That didn't happen. It hasn't happened. Consequently, we see these odds, these betting odds on him being the next chair beginning to drop. Today, Senator Elizabeth Warren told him to his face that she was not going to vote for him. Senator Menendez hinted at doing the same thing. And I'm beginning to wonder, Jim, if this nomination could actually start to get tied up in appeasing progressives. Take a smaller spending bill, but we'll give you Lael Brainerd at the top of the Fed. Any thoughts on that?
No, that's an option that is probably being considered right now. Look, they've got a real problem when it comes to the debt ceiling, the spending bills, the continuing resolution to fund the government. The problem is that the progressives in the Democrat Party and the moderates in the Democrat Party cannot agree. If you give a bill that satisfies the moderates, the progressives will vote against it. If you give a bill that satisfies the progressives, the moderates will vote against it. And Republicans are going to vote against everything because the Democrats are in charge. So the Democrats are warring with themselves right now. And maybe they will throw a bone like this Amarova at the Office of Comptroller of the Currency, who wants to end banking and basically make the Fed a giant consumer bank for the whole country. And, Lael Brainerd, who wants to really push hard on banking regulation, even though her policies for monetary policy won't differ that much from Powell. So, yeah, There could be some wheeling and dealing, and he could become a sacrificial lamb. The markets don't quite think that yet. He's still got a 70% chance of being renominated, but 2 weeks ago he was at 90%, and so he's going the wrong way right now.
Yeah, and I also heard that maybe Brainerd would get that Clarida seat as a compromise. We'll see. We know a lot of politics behind the scenes. Jim, always appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So meanwhile.